Don't just stand there, let's get to it. Strike a pose, there's nothing to it.
The Retro Years.
Weekdays at 1.
BBC Radio Cornwall.
How's your postal service? Just think about it. You know, if you get a letter through, do you ever look at the date it was posted and you think, oh, that's all right? Or actually, that's far from the standard that I would expect. Maybe our focus is even more on the quality of service, bearing in mind that first-class postage, of course, went up just a few days ago to £1.25 for a first-class stamp, although second-class remains the same. We were contacted by Oliver Dobbs, who runs a business in Truro, who's, well, what word would you describe to evoke your emotions about the postal service you're getting, Oliver?
Abysmal.
Abysmal, that bad?
Abysmal. It is that bad. I was so sort of happy and curious to see on Truro's main Facebook group with all the residents, I think there's upwards of 10,000 people in there, someone posting the first class stamp is £1.25. Our post arrives in bulk at the end of the week. Stick with second class as it's faster. And that is something we've been noticing in Truro, that we wait until the end of the week, and a huge amount of post comes as if it's Father Christmas coming through, but we don't get daily deliveries of post. The only thing we can track and be sure of is parcels, but people are missing out on commitments and on hospital appointments and GP appointments because they're not getting their post on time.
When you look at the date stamp to show when it was posted, what sort of dates are you seeing?
Well, I received a letter, for a really important business letter, which was dated, including stamped, as going out on the 20th of September. I didn't get it as first-class stamp. Didn't get it until the 29th.
So that's 9 days from the moment,
9 days on a first-class
from the moment
stamp.
of stamping.
And not a big letter, just a small standard letter.
How widespread is it from what you're able to ascertain from what other people are telling you?
Well, there's about 30 likes and 30 comments on this Truro Our City Facebook page, and most people are saying just use Facebook Messenger. We completely give it up. Some people say privatisation doesn't work on the Royal Mail. Try and deliver it yourself for £1.25. Remember, that's the same price from Land's End to John O'Groats if you want to go and walk it yourself, because that seems to be more reliable. So this is a Facebook group in Truro, and everyone is saying the same thing. Post arrives in bulk on a Friday or a Saturday, and so we're not getting next day post on anything here in Truro.
How long has it been like this?
Well, my mother and I, who live here in Truro, we've noticed this for about 2 months now. It's always, I've lived here in Truro for 4 years now. It's always been quite erratic, especially the timings, such as it could turn up at 8:30 or it could turn up at 6:30 at night. That's always been the case. But in the past 2 months, we've been getting this bulk delivery at the end of the week. And also, sometimes my mom is from America. It used to be if post was sent from America, we'd get it in a week. It's now taking months and months and months.
Months? Good grief.
And going missing. Birthday presents, Christmas presents going missing from international.
Clearly, you are very unhappy with this, and you're quite a forthright guy. Have you contacted Royal Mail, and if so, what did they say?
Well, once I saw the post on the Facebook group by someone else, it wasn't my post initially. The immediate thought I had, because I know you guys here and I listen every day, I thought the best way is to I put an email out to BBC Radio Cornwall and Spotlight, and I said, everyone's saying this. I sent screenshots of the group on Facebook. I didn't even bother to contact Royal Mail, but as I understand it, you've contacted them.
We have contacted them, yes, who have told us. I mean, basically, we'll get Mel perhaps to run through the statement in full in a moment. But basically, they've said they're going to try and do better, and they're going to try and find us somebody from the local sorting. But in your mind, and obviously people have different theories. What do you think? Where do you think the issue is?
If it was only a few weeks, a few months ago, I would say, well, clearly we saw all the pictures of backlogs due to strikes, those horrendous pictures of huge amounts of post piling up in distribution centres in Bristol and Heathrow. My theory is that because I'm coming up with this live on the air now. My theory is, and this has been the case for almost everything since COVID, is there's kind of this malaise in institutions, and not just government-run institutions, but also private businesses. So many restaurants now just close randomly at any time because their staff are...
Well, I think a lot of them, the restaurants for sure, they just can't recruit the number of staff they need for the stories we've done. They just put job adverts out and they just can't get enough bodies.
I do have with me...
you've got a prop. I like a prop.
I love to come with a prop, whether it be a newspaper or a little card. Because when I was speaking to your producer, Matt, on the phone yesterday, in comes through the door as I'm telling him we don't get any post, is a little bit of post. And it was a sort of one of those marketing magazines and a little card. 'Tis the season to be earning. Where essentially they're trying to recruit people to help with the Christmas backlog. Well, not a backlog yet, but I'm sure there will be. And in the bottom right hand of this, it says, with a heart in it, we deliver more. Well, you deliver more when it's the end of the week, but otherwise it's nada, nothing, zero, nil.
Let's bring you the Royal Mail spokesperson statement. I mean, it doesn't really tell us to be an awful lot, to be honest.
You were reading it to me earlier, and it didn't even make sense, let alone address anything.
I will deliver it verbatim. Restoring best-in-class quality of service is our top priority, and we have plans in place to improve the service to the level our customers expect it to be. We encourage anyone with concerns about the delivery of their mail to please get in touch. So an invitation there.
Yeah, and I certainly will be after this programme, but hopefully they're listening loud and clear now, because you have plans to improve it. Why don't you have a plan now? You are the Postal Service. You are the Royal Mail. Why do you need to dress up a plan now because you've been forced to respond to the people here at BBC Radio Cornwall? Why isn't this happening now? This is a postal service which has existed for centuries. Why can't they just sort it out? Sort it, literally.
Do you think there is a sense amongst people that the Royal Mail, I won't say the service, but the idea of actually letters coming through the door, we talk a lot about digital stuff eclipsing the old way of doing things. Do you think it's a limited amount of time before post becomes a thing of the past, or is it some sort of different service?
Well, I was discussing this with Matt, your producer outside, and also James Churchfield, one of your fellow presenters, and obviously, I'm a young guy, I'm 25, and I use my phone for almost everything. But even I'm not even, I think I'm on the edge of millennial and Gen X, which, but I'm a boomer at heart.
Yeah. Closet boomer.
Yeah, okay, boomer. I love traditional mail. I have pen pals. I've given up because I used to spend a lot of money getting nice paper. I do calligraphy.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time and a lot of money on inkwells and pens, but no one bothers now. Not just, because I've got a lot of friends my age who agree with me on this. We like the old thing, but the fact is we're an elder population. This is what I was saying to Matt outside.
Yeah.
Because we are living longer, I know there was a dip because of COVID, but we are living longer, excess deaths are falling. Why, once you get past the age of, I don't know, sort of 75, it can become very difficult to use a mobile phone. And also people with health conditions. I have epilepsy.
Yeah.
I can't do everything on the phone. I have epileptic seizures just trying to change my wallpaper the other day.
I know that we get a lot of comments from people who feel very disenfranchised because they're not engaged in the digital world.
Yeah.
But sticking to the postal service, some comments from people. Angela near Quintrell Down said, we used to have 2 deliveries a day. Now we have 1 if we're lucky. How backwards things have become. The thoughts are of Angela. Rose in Penzance, which is interesting because nowhere near Truro.
Yeah.
Rose says, I've noticed a change in the service over the last year. Seem to get a big clump of mail on a Wednesday and very little for the rest of the week. Rose also really concerned about how expensive it is to post anything. She thinks she will put a lot of people off sending Christmas cards. Whereas Barbara from St Austell says, the Royal Mail, I was delighted with them recently. I posted a parcel from St Austell to Hampshire. The lady said it wouldn't arrive until the end of the week and it ended up there the next day. They can be good sometimes, but clearly not for everyone. And you were saying, Oliver, that the parcels haven't been an issue.
Yeah, on the subject of parcels, because obviously parcels, we have a sort of competitive market on that because you've got Amazon, you've got DPD. The only postal success I've had recently has been with DPD, actually, where I ordered a new Skybox on Sunday night at about 10 p.m. and it came next day. 10 p.m. on a Sunday, I ordered it.
Like a miracle. And this one from Nikki in Liscard, who says, "Morning team, I sent my daughter a birthday card in August and it took 10 days to get to Lancashire. My sister sent one to my granddaughter in September, taking it into the actual post office.
Wow.
And it still took 10 days. I sent mine by second class and my sister used first class. What's going on? You used to be sure that your letter would get there in 1 to 2 days." So quite a groundswell. Oliver, thank you very much indeed for highlighting it. And we are certainly going to, if the Royal Mail can supply us with somebody who can actually talk about the situation on the ground here in Cornwall and what's going on, there's an open invitation to them to come on and join us. We'll let you know if that happens.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much for having me.
Very nice. Now, I'm just going to ask you,
one more
because
thing.
it's not a long time ago for you. Well, later on, we're going to be talking to one of the head honchos from English Heritage who are fundraising to make sure that school trips can continue, because they're saying with the cost of living, a lot of schools and parents can't
quite
afford.
right, yeah.
And I'm asking for school trip memories. Do you have one? Do you remember a school trip?
I'll tell you one which I was specifically having a memory of over the past few days, actually, because I've got a neighbour who went to Tresco in the Isles of Scilly, and my primary school, Polperro Primary School, took almost every student to the Isles of Scilly when I was about, I think I was in year 6, so I was probably about 10 years old. And on the way back, it was a horrendous storm and we were meant to go back on the ferry, and I remember the wealthier parents sending their kids back on helicopters and jets, but us poor peasants, we had to rough it out on the sea. And I remember everyone just being horrendously sick, and I think they actually wrote us all from school for the next week because we needed to recover from our little sea escapade.
I absolutely love that. Lovely to get you in the studio. Thank you so much, and we'll keep tabs on this.
Thank you very much.
I think you're going to appear on Spotlight on the telly, aren't you?
On Thursday, discussing the same topic. I'll be on Spotlight on Thursday.
Oh, he's a one-man campaigner, force of nature. Oliver Dobbs, thank you very much indeed for popping in. Just do the travel news a moment.